Uh, so if you have an old furnace, old ducts, you should have them vacuumed once every 5, 10 years at least. Filters. Furnace filters is important for efficiency. It's also the type of filter you put into a furnace. Filters come in different grades. We always recommend HEPA, H-E-P-A. That's a high efficiency filter. For people with asthma, allergies, children with sensitivity, nasal issues, there's room air, they're called air cleaners, air purifiers. They're high efficiency. It brings the air through a high efficiency filter, and it cleans the air. Not 100%, but it gets rid of airborne particles, and it really helps people with asthma and allergies.
Would you say that those kinds of filters actually would be a preventive measure for people to have in their homes anyway, to just increase the air quality? Since you were going to address air quality, that just occurred to me to ask you, because I think having an air filter, especially in a home where you don't know how much outgassing is actually going on there, might not be a bad idea.
A lot of people, the answer is yes. They're not that expensive and they're very efficient. But a lot of people, children, do have air cleaners in the house as a preventative measure for their children as their lungs are developing. There's a real hidden advantage to that. It keeps the dust down in your home too. So you're not dusting as much in your house. Or if you have animals, dogs and cat dander, things like that. So surely I would recommend it, yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, since we're talking about the things we can do to prevent basic illness that comes through homes at times, and some of the things that are sitting in those homes, what else would you say is important to watch for in a home? I mean, the faucets, the water, all of that, is that something people need to look at?
The Bay Area has very high quality water, meeting most all standards. And I know no one that complains about the quality of water in any of the municipalities around the Bay Area. The issue's not with the municipality who's constantly checking their water. The issue is when it leaves their jurisdiction, where it comes out of the tap where you're at. A lot happens. It goes through miles of old pipe, some new pipe, a lot of old pipe. And when it goes through the old pipe, particulates get into the water. Could be a little bit of steel, could be minerals, could be some lead. If you're in an older home, you probably have some lead joints in your pipe or lead pipes. And what a water filter would do, and there's several types of water filters. It'll pull out the hard particulates in the water. And of course I would recommend that. But what people forget sometimes too, in all those miles of piping, somebody is working on the pipe. Some plumber someplace is cutting into the water line. And when they do that, dirt gets in the water. That's a real big issue with the plumbing codes, keeping that water clear when a plumber works on your property. But a filter for your water system is a great level of protection when you're taking the water from your tap. It's clean.
Well, the way, Nick, I understand it as well is that most of our pipes in this country are actually very outdated, very old, need to be replaced urgently, and we just don't, I mean, the infrastructure of the pipes themselves, is that true? Can you address that just a little bit?
Oh, that's absolutely true. We saw that in the last Loma Prieta earthquake. One of the first things to fear is that the pipes break and they have no water pressure. That's a national problem, of course. The answer is yes to that. Okay. There's no negative to putting the water filter system in that I can think of. Only positive. There's no negative in the air filter system.
Okay. So, of all the things you've talked about, what do you think? What really stands out? What would you tell someone? You do inspections. You come in. I know you work with buyers, with sellers, doing inspections, with realtors, etc. And what would you tell them? What's the one thing that really stands out for them to take note of? When they come into a home, what are they looking at, and if they want to live there, what would you say to them?
you asked me the one thing I would tell is life safety. That's really the reason.
Right.
That's the only reason we inspect property is life safety. And saying that, that covers fire safety, electrical safety, structural safety, and it has to do with the water we drink,
Yeah.
take showers in, and the air we breathe. And we're building a cocoon where we lock ourselves into. So I hope that answers your
Yes,
question,
it does,
because we
yeah.
could go on and on about that.
Well, there's a lot more to say, and I know you give presentations
Yes.
on that. So would you tell people how they could actually get in contact with you if you wanted to, if they wanted to, and they wanted to hire you to do an inspection?
Well, I appreciate that. Yes, we inspect properties. We inspect them for child safety, seismic safety, and everything involved with the property. I'm Nick Falus. I'm the owner of Greenfield Inspection. Our number is 1-800-845-6822.
Excellent, Nick. And where do you do those inspections?
Entire Bay Area.
Okay.
Entire Bay Area. But without a doubt, the biggest hazard I see day in and day out is the fact it's really the sense of security. I go to windows on homes that haven't been opened in years. People are afraid to open their windows.
Yeah.
And the truth is, closing a window doesn't give you security. What gives you security are motion sensor lights and a security system. And if you don't want to do that, at least buy a dog dish and put it on the front porch. That works too. So, but ventilate. Get air circulating in your home. Grandma was right about that one.
Okay, we're going to call it Grandma. Nick, thank you so much.
Thank you
Really
both very
appreciate it. And I hope everybody got something from this, because it's very important information.